Hi, welcome to your Kindred Spirit Readings. Let's begin, Aquarius. Super fast this week. You're doing everything with not only careful consideration, but there's something about your week that is all about you speeding up the process. You want to get to the bottom of things. There is a current situation where you come to realize that something just isn't working out for you and you want to resolve it. You want to be able to move on from that. It involves another person. I'm seeing that you are more upfront in terms of how you feel. You know, you're expressing yourself in different ways, but you're definitely not shying away from telling it as it is. Another thing that I see that is rather important for you this week is being more in touch with your emotions. Your feelings are showing up. It might be that you're getting a taste of what you were not expecting, or something sort of rattled you a little and it left you a little out of sorts. It's not to say that you cannot overcome whatever it is that's in the way, although I do see that it may take a while for you to be able to acknowledge what is occurring and get past whatever is creating this nervousness or the inability to understand why this happened in the first place. There is a lot of family involvement this week, although at the same time, I'm getting that you're trying to understand why some things have changed within the home. Certain situations have changed and you are trying to fit the mold, but at the same time, you've got your own stuff to take care of. And so therefore, you're not really wanting to waste any time. There is loads to get done. That was your weekly forecast. I'm now going to move on to the next 5 years of your life. So there are two things that really stand out for me about the next 5 years of your life. And the first thing that really stood out was the fact that you may want to make amends, but you're going in with the intention to, and I'm seeing that it's you standing there and you may not want to start over, but perhaps going in with the intention that the other person would just be able to pick up where they left off with you and where you both left off. This just isn't working out that way, especially for them. You will notice this immediately. I see this happening within the first 1 to 2 years. There is a strange difference between the two of you. Now it's almost unrecognizable. So if there's any hopes of a reunion or you would like to catch up with an old friend that you haven't seen in a long time, this is really going to surprise you. It may shock you. It definitely, I'm seeing, is going to throw a curveball. And you may just stand there and not know what to say. I mean, you're literally speechless, but I don't see that you're backing away or you're backing down from this. You're not walking away. You're not willing to say no at the same time. But there's nothing negative towards the entire situation between the two of you. It's really interesting to see that you're both really connected on a level, however, that you know where you're able to understand each other fully. And at the same time, there is something missing. And it's really intense. You've got this great communication, everything is flowing, the energy feels nice, but whoever this other person is, they are not willing to open up as much as they used to. I'm seeing that they were once upon a time, they were more open to the idea of doing things that work differently, that were different for the two of you. I mean, obviously people change and, years go by, however long, months, days, whatever the case may be, but it's rather strange how quickly the other individual has changed. It's very noticeable. I mean, it may leave you wondering, okay, so what's the problem? Maybe you may think too much about something regarding this situation. You may think, well, so what? People change. It's not a big deal. I do see that you're being rather persistent in all of this. So there is that to keep in mind. I do feel that very strongly that they do love you. They still do love you. There is that as well that I'm seeing. One of the things to keep in mind is to steer clear from a situation that may come about around the 3rd to the 4th year. You may be phased. Something I'm getting something around a potential lawsuit. This is easy to avoid. You could easily avoid all of this at all costs and anything attached to it, anything at all. If you have an opinion about somebody, there are a group of people standing discussing something very serious indeed, and you are being asked by the universe to not always put your 2 cents in. I know sometimes we tend to speak up, voice our opinion, it happens, but around this time you're being asked specifically to try and hold back. Bite your tongue if you can, if you will. Entirely up to you. I mean, I always say it's your path, your choice, your decision. This is rather what stands out for me the most. It could be that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time and you decide that, well, I've got something to say about this because I disagree with something in particular. You're all about helping others in the next 5 years. You've got a lot that is coming towards you that is going to be testing you, and it sort of goes hand in hand with what I said about the 3rd and 4th year right before this. I am seeing that you could be planning for a baby. Thank you, Aquarius.